Hi guys, welcome back to another Mail Art Monday. Today is not only Mail Art Monday, but Labor Day here in the US, so happy Labor Day to everybody. So some of you have watched the last video. Hopefully you're excited about this one. I am super excited, so let me show you what we're going to do today. Alright, today we are going to do this super fun Halloween style creepy envelope. So I love this. I love grays. I love Halloween and all the creepy. There's a nice big space to write in. You guys can also use this just like all the others to do greeting cards. You can put a sentiment in here. You can also do postcards, whatever you desire. The nice thing about this is it's, can be changed. You can make this into a tag, go this direction, make jumbo tags and maybe put the skeleton inside of here just partially. Use your imagination. This is just meant to inspire. So let's get started. Again, we're using your standard size envelope, standard greeting card envelope, which I believe is an A2. If you go back to the first video, I know we have measurements, so I'm going to get that and let's get started. As always, I'm going to start with everything that we have stamped in black. And we're going to work reverse. You can see over here where they overlap, so this is going to be masked off. So we're going to start with our bell jar today. And all of the links to the videos I'm using will be in the blog. So direct links to buy every stamp. If you just go to the blog, you'll be able to click on it. The link to the blog will be listed right below this. So I'm using archival black today. Any good black ink will be fine. That's completely up to you. Make sure I have my envelope going the right direction. So you just stamp your jar a little bit towards the bottom. Now mine are not mounted, so I have foam underneath. So we want to get good pressure, but not too much. So the very first thing, I've got this, I'm going to put our deliver to inside before masking it off. So we're working with everything in black. We're just going to get all the black done. So I'm inking that up really quickly. And I want it towards the back of the jar because I'm going to put those blood drops towards the front. So I really like that. Let's go ahead and grab our mask. Now I do have my mask already cut out. If you don't know what a mask is, you just stamp your image on another piece of paper, cut it out. We got repositionable tape on the back. And I'm just going to cover up our image. And that will protect it from any further inking we're going to do. So now we're going to go ahead and stamp our skeleton. So I'm going to take my jar off my block here. And then I have ATG tape on my block. I did have some repositionable tape, but I needed to replace it, so we've got some quick tape on here. Now, same thing, get really good inking on here, still using the archival. And I chose to put my postage stamp over the top of the skeleton. You can actually put your postage stamp anywhere. And I'm lining this up. I want the bottom of the skeleton, and I want him to overlap the jar a little bit so it looks like he's behind it. It gives you more depth. So I try to kind of line it up with our bell jar, and you can see that here. So, and it looks like this goes off your page. You'll see the ink up here. Don't worry about that. I didn't want all the extra writing that defines that he's a skeleton on there. I would rather have his feet on our envelope. So if you use a larger envelope, you may be able to get the whole stamp on there. That's up to you. Now, because he is see-through, we don't need to cut out a mask for him, which is wonderful. The last thing we're going to do that's in the black is our caution stamp, so I've got it here. And you'll notice on it that it had the red writing in it. That's something we're actually going to color in with a marker here later, so don't worry about that. Just pick up your black ink and we'll put it here. Now, because it is a foreground image, we're also going to put a mask on it, which I've got, and you'll see these masks are kind of crazy because I do reuse them. They get a lot of use. So tack that down. So you can see here, we've got all our main images that are in black. We are going to start with our background. I like to start with the bigger focal pieces first. So we are going to start with our periodic table. And I know it looks gray. I don't have a gray ink that blends easily. So this is actually the Distress Iced Spruce. So we're going to take that off, ink it up, and I think it looks gray when stamped. So if you have the new gray, you are welcome to use it. I have a couple other grays, I just don't feel like they blend as well. And I kind of want this to go at like an angle. I don't want it to look too crisp and clean and perfect because it's supposed to be grungy and give you that creepy vibe. So there we go. Got it lined up really nicely. Now, I also had some numbers because I find that numbers are just fun. So you'll see those up here. And they give you a little visual interest. So I'm not going to put this on a block. I want it to be kind of sporadic and random. So I'm just going to kind of ink it and kind of place some numbers here and there. And I want them kind of just along this other side. If you hear some strange noises, I'm sorry. We have a kitten that is fighting with our other cat, so please ignore that. Alright, so I've got some numbers mixed in. Oh, and I think I want a little across at the bottoms here. Alright. See if I can get those guys to stop. And I think from there we're going to go ahead and add our gray background color. We'll save the red for last. So we've got this. I've got a sponge. I know some of you guys already know I reuse my sponges. Ignore the brown. We're not using brown. We're going to use the end with the gray on it. Or the iced spruce, which is going to come out looking gray. So, and remember, these are masked off, so don't worry about it. I start right at those masks and lay down your color. You can go as dark or light as you want. This one I went a little lighter. Now when you blend, don't worry about losing your image you stamped in that same color. When you blend, it is always lighter than the color you stamp in. You can add color enough to make it as dark if you really wanted, but just sticking it on there, you're not going to lose what you stamped. So don't panic. Don't think, oh no, I'm going to lose what I just worked hard to stamp in that color and think you have to use another color. You don't. I like to go really nicely around our images that are masked off because it makes them pop a little bit more. It looks kind of as if they're shadowed that way. And then I'm just kind of really lightly going around everything else. I don't want it to be too dark, so just kind of, I like the edges to stand out a little darker, so I will do a little bit more on the edges, but everything else just needs a really light coating. So nothing serious, nothing crazy. You can sponge more on as you want. That is all we are going to do with that color. Next, we want to add our red elements. So we're going to use the Distressed Age Mahogany. And I'm going to start with our drops at the top. So let me give you a refresher here. We're going to start with these drips. So we're going to do the drips in the jar and on top up here first. So just go ahead and ink that up. You can use whatever color of red you want. This is just the one I use most frequently. I really like it. I have another one, but the sponge is coming off, so I don't use it as often. Don't worry, you'll see here I didn't get all the way to the edge. We're going to do a second stamping because I actually had extra drips on this. So don't let that panic you if you don't line it up just right. Nothing is going to hurt anything. So I did the first one a little low. The second one I'm going to line up a little differently and go a little higher. And whatever you feel like is not filled in, you can take that, we're back to our VersaFine marker, you guys know I love this, and pull your color around. You can pull a little extra off your stamp if you still have leftover, and it just fills everything right in and makes it nice and cohesive. So now you can't even tell where that went. And you can do as much as you want as that. That's up to you. Now, while I still have the stamp out, I'm going to go ahead and lift my mask underneath it here. And we're going to stamp it inside of the jar. And just to be safe so that you don't go outside of the jar, stick your mask, actually I have a separate one, we'll just do this. When you cut your mask, you'll want to keep both parts. So let me show you, I'm pulling this out of my little booklet here. So I have the outside part of this too. So we're going to go ahead and stick that over top of there. This ensures you don't go outside of the jar. So we'll slap that on there for just a second. Go ahead and ink this back up again. And I want this to go further over to the right hand side because I want to leave room for writing the address. So I'm going to go up a little higher, and I'm only stamping it once in here. So You can add as much as you want. Just remember, you do have to have room for the address to go in there and for the post office to be able to read it. So I'm gonna touch up my little edges where I missed. Clean my marker off. Now you can take this mask off and see how nice. Oh, and I didn't line my mask up very well, so go back to that VersaFine marker again and color that in. If you have the red matching ink marker from Tim Holtz, you can also use that, or whatever company you're using. I know a lot of them make matching ones. I'm going to put this back on. We're going to do just a couple more things because I am messy and the likelihood of me going into that is very high. What I want to stamp next is, I believe we call it an ink drip. I'm going to use it as a run of a blood drip. So I'm going to put this on my block, still using that aged mahogany. And I'm actually going to use this color for all of them. Some people will alternate, and some of my projects I do alternate between two reds. This one, I just feel that this is such a nice dark color, it stands out. So stamp that right along the edge. Take up blend your color all the way over to your mask. And then I only used that one once. I've got this really cool, I love this one. This is what we're going to use next. I'm going to put it on here. And what I'm going to do is it's going to seem upside down, I think. But I'm going to stamp this to where the point is actually down by the skeleton's feet and it goes across the top of the jar. You're going to lose a couple spots, but it really helps it to go in. I'm going to move this camera for you guys so you can see a little better. It really helps it to kind of go all over. And then I'm going to take a couple extra drops, just this point. So I'm going to ink up just the point really quick. And I did backwards. You're not supposed to stick the stamp that way. And I'm just going to kind of put them here and there across the top of the envelope. So that's it. A couple little drops. I will tell you a secret. If you guys don't have this stamp, you can also use the coffee ring stamps if you guys have them. And don't use the whole coffee ring, use the splatters that come on them. We have two really awesome ones. Especially if you have the stamping markers, you can color those in. So that's just another idea. And I have used those splatters before to help add to these. So we've got this now. We'll just take off our masks. And if I can get a hold of it here. So we've got our caution. All right. Now I'm going to take this back out a little bit. You guys can see we've pretty much got our envelope complete. The only thing we need to do is color in our caution. For this I'm using the Tim Holtz marker in, let's see what color we have here, the Barn Door. So I don't know if I can get that to focus, but it's Tim Holtz and Barn Door. And I'm just going to color this in. It's a little bit of a brighter red because I think of caution signs, I think they want to get your attention. So if you wanted to use yellow, you can use yellow. You can not color it at all if you want. I just really like the red. I think it makes it pop and it pulls it together with everything. So there you have it. That's all we've got. If you want to go through and add shadowing around things to make things a little more bold and pop, you can. You'll see I did do that in the first envelope here. I just took a gray marker and went around the edge of the caution sign and a little bit underneath the jar. But really I like it this way also. And then you can add your stamp. You'll see here, this one I have just repositionable tape to show you guys. I don't have another of the Lincoln stamps, but actually there's several really nice head stamps right now. And you can just stick your stamp over top of that. Let me show you right now what would be super awesome on here are these new Elvis stamps. So we'll just go ahead and put one of those on there. Why not, right? So there you go. You have your Elvis skeleton and your nice caution Halloween envelope. So super easy, super fun. Everybody will love to get these in the mail. So I hope this inspires you. I hope you found something new today and interesting, or maybe it makes you want to go out and make something. Thanks guys. Have a great day.